This is an example of bad criticism. I have read the story written by Gandhi. He has a very good work in progress, but it has very little tension and the climax is weak. While his male protagonist and main character has a clear good voice, the female does not. I will proceed to give Gandhi my opinion.
Thank you for reading my story.
It was a horrible story.
Okay, were there any parts you liked?
Stuff. I didn't like when the character transformed. Why did the character transform?
The character transformed because it was part of the plot line. Did you like the characters?
The male character was good, but the female character was flat and one-dimensional. Do you even know what girls really act like? Do you have any idea of what most girls would do in that situation?
I have a girlfriend. I know what a girl will do in situations like those. Don't be a jerk. Can you tell me where the girl character felt flat?
No.
It is very hard to know how I can improve what you felt didn't seem right unless you can give me examples.
I don't feel like it. Your conclusion sucked.
That's not surprising. You're obviously a moron. Why did you think my conclusion sucked?
It just did. I can't explain why you fail.
The point of this exercise is to give good criticism. I feel like you're critiquing me as a person and not my work.
Your work was mediocre and the tension was as flat as 3-day-old soda.
I do not like your tone of voice. Can you please stop insulting me and tell me where the tension seemed to go flat?
I cannot explain to you what is so obvious. You don't even give a rational reason for your main character to turn back into his original form.
The fairy has pity on him. It is not my fault you have no imagination.
You have no ability to write.
You stink.
I hate you.
Die in a car fire.
This has been an example of bad criticism. Gandhi and I are now going to have an example of good criticism.
Yes, and you better be nice this time or I will hold a peaceful protest outside of your office later.
I have read your story. I found it was very hard to read. The tension and climax seemed like they never rose. Did you consider a change of pace? Or perhaps a different way of choosing words?
I was afraid that my tension was off. Is there a specific place where it seems to be off?
Yes, I believe when the male protagonist returns to his form there is no reason for it to happen and it does not seem clear.
Thank you. Do you feel there was anything about the story that was good? Or that you liked?
Yes. Your characterization of the main character was very good. He had a very distinct voice. The setting was also very realistic and I could easily picture it in my mind.
I can tell you have something else to say. Please tell me what else you feel could use improvement in my story.
The female character did not seem as realistic as the male character. Perhaps if you strengthened her dialogue with the male character she will feel more of his equal and less of a sidekick. I believe she has a lot of potential.
I liked the female character. I will take into consideration your words of advice. I have one question for you before we change to another story. Did you believe that the point of view was constant throughout the story? I was a little worried that perhaps having it third person was wrong and it should be first.
I think it was very interesting to choose third but follow over the male character's shoulder. However, it may improve the tension of the story if it was in first person. It may solve some of the tension problems to also start the story after the transformation instead of before the transformation. I look forward to your next draft.
Thank you for being honest with me. I will take your words into consideration.
You are welcome. This concludes the demonstration of good and bad criticism. If you are going to critique for someone, remember that they are a person too with feelings. Their draft is a work in progress and the wrong words can kill and damage a creative spirit and a peer.
Writers, remember the reader and critic of your work is trying to help, but step on your toes. Ultimately, their viewpoints only affect your work if you let them. Good writing, everyone.